In the following piece of footage, Melody explains that her birthday was just a few days ago, and someone had sent her a bouquet of pink flowers. They were beautiful, but they came with no note, no sender information, and nobody in her life ever mentioned sending them. She figured it was a mix-up, or maybe a secret admirer, but she didn't think much more about it. Then, on the day of the recording, she came home from work and found another delivery waiting at her door.
Okay, this might be nothing, but the timing is just not it. It was my birthday, right? And I got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know. That's not weird because it's me, okay? They die. No note. So, and I figured, you know, when it's my birthday, someone's gonna call or text me and be like, "Happy birthday, did you like my flowers?" That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out. Hold on. Back to the story. So today when I get home, okay, yeah, I leave a note.
This time it was a fresh set of bright yellow flowers, arriving at the exact moment her original pink bouquet was starting to wilt. Still no note, no message, no clue. After the footage, she checked with family, friends, even co-workers, and not a single person claimed they were from them. The timing feels deliberate, almost like someone is watching closely enough to know when the first set was beginning to die. Now she's not sure if she should be flattered, creeped out, or both, because whoever is sending them clearly isn't finished. In the follow-up clip, she explains that after posting the video about the mysterious flowers, her followers started messaging her non-stop, all saying the same thing. They claimed something appeared behind her while she was talking, something she hadn't noticed at all in the moment. Curious and a little shaken, she went back into the footage and adjusted the brightness and contrast to see what they were talking about, and this is what she uncovered.
Warning, if you scare easy, this shit made my stomach drop. So once again, I could have gone my whole life without y'all telling me there's something behind me. In every single one of my videos is the one where I get flowers, no note. I thought that's what the TikTok was about, but apparently there is someone or something standing behind me in the doorway. I decided I'm going to screen record myself screenshotting the doorway, playing around with the settings. This is what I found.
In the doorway behind her, barely visible at first, an almost fully transparent human figure is standing there, shaped just enough to recognize but faded enough to look unreal. The longer she stares at the edited frame, the clearer it looks, like someone was silently watching her from just a few feet away. She's convinced now that this wasn't some random glitch or shadow trick. After all, someone has been sending her flowers with oddly perfect timing, and the presence behind her didn't look like anything living. Her followers think it might be connected, maybe even the same unseen visitor, leaving gifts on her doorstep. She isn't sure what to believe anymore, but she's certain she's not alone in that house. Matt decided to set up a camera in the kitchen before leaving for work, hoping to finally catch whatever had been making noises in the middle of the day when nobody was home. He mentioned earlier that strange things kept happening while he was gone, so he left the camera running for hours just to see what would show up. Little did he know that he was actually going to capture something. The footage opens with a wide shot of the quiet kitchen, nothing moving, no pets, no open windows, nothing that could cause any disturbance. Then, without warning, one of the chairs at the dining table suddenly tips over, crashing to the floor with enough force to echo across the room. A few seconds later, before the silence even settles, another chair at the kitchen counter falls over on its own, this one leaning almost purposefully, before dropping flat like something had pushed it. Matt watched all this back later and was stunned. There were no drafts, no people, no reason for two different chairs across the room to fall the way they did. Whatever's been in his house wasn't hiding anymore, and the camera finally proved it. A few days later, Matt was actually holding the camera himself this time, instead of relying on the kitchen setup, and he was in the bathroom attached to his bedroom when he started hearing strange noises coming from the closet. He thought maybe his girlfriend was messing with something in there, so he stepped out of the bathroom and began filming while calling for her, but she didn't answer, and the bedroom was completely empty.
I'm in my bathroom that's attached to my bedroom. And I keep hearing fucking noises coming from the closet that's just on the other side of the wall. But Sarah's gone. Babe. Babe. Hello? Babe? Max? What the fuck? Oh, what the? Dude.
As he points the camera toward the open doorway of the closet, in the darkness something faint and hard to identify can be seen shifting near the back wall. It barely has a shape, almost blending into the shadows, but it's enough to send him into a panic. Matt immediately sprints out of the room and runs to the other side of the house, completely shaken. Whatever was in that closet wasn't human, and it definitely wasn't waiting around to be seen any clearer. A woman was sitting in a leather chair, looking exhausted after a long day, while her partner filmed her from across the room just to capture her quote-unquote being attractive. She wasn't expecting anything unusual to happen, but the camera accidentally picked up something behind her that they instantly clocked onto.
You look tired.
Yeah, kinda.
Tonight was a long night.
It was. Why are you filming me?
You just look really good right now.
I do think we're a pretty attractive couple. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Oh my god.
What? What happened? Did you see something?
In the window behind her, a dark figure can be seen walking past, moving smoothly from one side to the other, as if someone was outside looking in. The man recording instantly reacts, rushing out the door to check the yard, expecting to catch whoever walked by. But the second he gets outside, there's nothing. No footsteps, no shadows, nobody even close to the house. The yard is completely empty. The figure in the window had to have been a ghost, and seeing it after the fact only made the situation even more unsettling. In another clip that was posted a few days later, the same woman from the window video decided to vlog about how uneasy she'd been feeling since that night. She explained she'd been getting random goosebumps around the house and just wanted to document it in case anything else happened. For the first few seconds, she's walking around and talking normally until something suddenly catches her off guard.
Hey, so I know some of you don't believe me, but I've been starting to get goosebumps and the hair on the back of my neck is starting to... What the hell?! We are moving.
What happened?
We see her gasp, before she spins the camera around toward the bathroom, and there it is, a huge human-shaped shadow standing directly behind the shower curtain, tall and completely still. She hesitates only a second before pulling the curtain back with one quick motion, but there's nothing behind it at all. No person, no shadow, nothing that could have created that shape. Her voice is shaking as she backs away and calls out to her boyfriend that they're moving out, because at this point, she's had enough. In the final part of their footage, the man starts filming again after Savannah tells him she's been hearing voices coming from the balcony area. She sounded stressed at the time, so he decided to go check it out with the camera rolling. As he begins walking toward the balcony door, something unexpected happens.
Okay, so Savannah's saying that she's hearing voices out on the balcony, so I told her I would check it out. What the hell is that? I definitely just saw somebody out there.
Did you see something?
Before he even reaches the balcony, a tall shadow figure is already standing at the window, its shape pressed against the glass as if it's staring inside. He freezes for a second, trying to focus the camera, but just then something behind him falls with a loud clatter that makes him spin around in shock. When he turns back toward the balcony, only a moment later, the shadow figure is completely gone. No movement, no fading, nothing. Whatever Savannah had been hearing wasn't just a voice this time, it was watching them. A man called Professor Cynical never believed in ghosts, ever. He was the type of person who laughed at the idea, always blaming strange sounds on pipes, neighbors, or the wind. But ever since he moved into his new house, things have shifted from mildly strange to genuinely unsettling. At first, it was just the occasional noise that he brushed off without thinking. But as weeks went by, the activity became harder and harder for him to explain away. Eventually, he decided to start recording, and that's when he captured something he can't rationalize at all.
Conclusion.
I'm honestly done with this. Every other day pretty much, this happens. I posted about this before, but people just saying, oh, the door's moving because of the wind, and it wasn't anything. And over the course of so long, it's just getting worse. I'll show you as well, there's literally nothing here. Got baby gate there. There's literally just shoe racks in that right there. Look, there's literally nothing. And if I look up here, mind the camera. But look, there's literally nothing.
He's sitting right beside his door, filming as the handle begins shaking violently on its own, rattling back and forth like someone on the other side is trying to get in. He says this happens every other day, almost like clockwork, and even though people keep telling him it's just the wind, it's painfully obvious that's not the case. As the footage continues, the shaking only gets more aggressive until he finally reaches out, grabs the handle, and pulls the door open. The camera shows the empty space behind it. Nothing and no one there at all. Whatever's been rattling that door isn't the wind and isn't something he can debunk anymore. Mike has always been the kind of person who notices the little things, small movements, changes in sound, anything slightly out of place. Lately though, those little things in his home have been happening far too often for comfort. He says it started with odd sounds at night, but recently the activity has been bold enough to catch in daylight. That's when he decided to start filming, just to have proof of what he was seeing. The footage starts in his dining room, where a wooden chair at the table slides itself just a few inches across the floor. In the second part, the camera is in the kitchen, capturing one of the drawers pulling open slowly and deliberately, as though someone was standing right there. Finally, the third clip shows a wall sticker in his living room peeling away from the surface on its own, curling toward the floor with no one touching it. Mike says all 3 moments happened within days of each other, and while none of them were violent, the fact that they keep escalating has him wondering just how far this is going to go. Mateo works nights as a security guard at a large hospital, a job that's usually more about patience than action. Most shifts are long stretches of quiet hallways, the occasional patient wandering in confusion, and the hum of fluorescent lights. But he says that over the past few weeks, strange things have been happening, such as unexplained noises, flickering lights, and shadows where there shouldn't be any. That's when he decided to start filming during his rounds, just in case.
Se oye una voz rara aquí como... Uy. Son las domingo. No hay nadie. La silla se mueve sola. Se apagaron las luces cuando entré. No hay nadie en el baño.
The footage begins in one of the hospital's empty corridors. A chair sitting against the wall suddenly slides a long distance across the floor, scraping as it moves. Just a second later, something faint and humanoid appears to shift around the corner at the far end of the hall. Mateo immediately rushes over, the camera shaking as he turns the corner, only to find absolutely nothing there. No footsteps, no movement, no sign that anyone had been in the area at all. He says the hospital's night staff have whispered about hauntings for years, but after that encounter, Mateo admits he's starting to believe them. Let's just hope if this place is haunted, the spirit leaves soon. Sarah had just finished putting her daughter to bed and was settling down to watch some TV in the living room. It was a quiet night, the kind where everything feels normal and peaceful. But then, out of nowhere, she heard a familiar sound coming from her daughter's room, a toy starting to play music on its own. Confused and a little uneasy, she grabbed her phone and decided to film what was happening.
If you scare easily, use your discernment, but this is the completely uncut and unfiltered clips that I took tonight after a couple of really weird things happened in my house. My daughter's been asleep for 2 hours. She's all the way over there. How is this standing up perfectly upright and turned on? She can't reach that. Hi, baby. And she's dead asleep when that thing just came on. There's no way.
Sarah cautiously enters the dimly lit room, pointing the camera toward the toy. It's sitting upright on the desk, far out of reach, and playing music by itself. Sarah quickly turns it off, her breath shaky, clearly unsettled by what she just witnessed. Afterwards, Sarah says she's reached out to paranormal experts, hoping they can help explain or put an end to the strange occurrences in her home. She's left wondering if this is just a harmless glitch or something far more unsettling. Around midnight, a family began receiving repeated notifications of movement detected by their security cameras. Concerned, the father immediately checked his phone to see what was causing the alerts. The footage shows a dark, demonic-looking head slowly peeking around a corner. The image is unsettling, and unlike anything they had seen before. Despite the chilling sight, the family remains unsure what to make of it. Some suggest it could be a strange light reflection or a trick of the camera lens, while others worry it might be something far more sinister. For now, the mystery remains unresolved, leaving them on edge and unsure what to expect next. Marco works as a security guard at a local mall and recently started noticing strange motion detections coming from the basement. His boss instructed him to go check it out and bring his camera along, just in case.
Dios, esto sí que es extraño. Acabo de prender la cámara porque la silla que estaba junto a las otras empezó a moverse. Eran 4 sillas, pero una empezó a moverse. Está detrás de la columna, a tan solo unos metros. Pero puedo ver. Allí está de nuevo moviéndose de nuevo. No puedo creerlo. Viene hacia mí. Creo que viene hacia mí. Viene hacia mí. Maldita silla. Maldita silla. Se está moviendo. Maldita silla. Maldita silla. Maldita silla. Maldita silla. Se está moviendo. Estoy atrás de la caja registradora. No puede ser. Creo que algo extraño sucede aquí. Como un disturbance sucede. Otra vez. Otra vez la silla, maldita silla se está moviendo. Se está moviendo, maldita sea. Maldita sea. Maldita sea. Maldita sea. Esa maldita silla se está moviendo de nuevo. Parece que no se queda. Por Dios, esa maldita silla. Esa maldita silla. Creo que voy a llamar al 911. Creo que llamaré al 911.
Down in the dimly lit basement, Marco films as a red chair slowly slides across the floor, inching closer to him on its own. The movement is eerie and completely unexplained. After the clip, Marco admitted feeling shaken, but stayed professional. He's still unsure what caused the chair to move, and plans to report it to his supervisors while staying alert for anything else unusual. The whole experience left him questioning what might really be lurking in the basement. Macchio had recently moved into a new home, still unpacking boxes and adjusting to the unfamiliar surroundings. Despite the excitement of a fresh start, he kept noticing odd things such as small sounds, items slightly out of place, but nothing he could quite explain. One night, just as he was settling into bed, a persistent rustling noise from downstairs caught his attention. Curious and a bit uneasy, he decided to investigate.
Estamos aquí en la funeraria, otra vez. Con ruidos raros. Entonces, pues, está solo. Ahora sí. ¿Cuál pinche que se ve? Que nada. Estoy solo. Estoy solo a la chingada. Estoy solo. A la chingada. A la chingada. A la vez. No mames, no mames, no mames. A la chingada.
As he filmed, several tall, pillar-like objects in the living room suddenly began to collapse one by one, falling with no visible cause or anyone near them. The way they toppled seemed deliberate, as if an unseen force was at work. Macchio quickly realized this was no ordinary disturbance. This had all the hallmarks of a poltergeist. He shared the footage with his followers, explaining that while he hoped it was harmless, the activity was clearly escalating. Since then, he's been researching ways to handle such paranormal presence, considering everything from cleansing rituals to calling in experts. The experience left him cautious but determined to understand what exactly was happening in his new home. Ian, known for his solo explorations of abandoned places, ventured into the backstage area of a long-forgotten theater. The corridors were lined with dusty props and old equipment, remnants of a bygone era. He marveled at the intricate lifts and old beauty mirrors, capturing the eerie beauty of the decaying space. At first, everything seemed calm, the silence only broken by the creaks of the building settling. But then, something weird happened.
Backstage area. I hear that a former costume designer haunts this place. Could you give me a sign of your presence? Oh wow, look at that. That's the underneath of the stage. This looks like where actors would go through. They go through that door right there. And then this looks like some kind of lift or something. If there's anybody over here, could you make a noise for me? Oh my gosh, that scared me. That's just the motion light. Whew. Dang. Hello? Anyone back here? I thought I heard something up there. Hello? Let's go up there and find out what it was.
Faint noises echoed from upstairs, and it was super creepy, considering this was a solo mission. Ian's curiosity piqued, and he decided to investigate further. Subscribe to my channel to see the full clip of his upstairs adventure and to follow his ongoing investigations into the paranormal. A man was out shopping, carrying his dog safely in his arms as he moved through the aisles. Everything seemed normal at first, but then his dog suddenly started squirming, twisting and turning as if desperate to get down. The man was puzzled, but gently tried to calm the dog, thinking it might just be restless. After a few tense moments, the dog finally managed to slip from his hold and land on the floor. What happened next was truly bizarre and unsettling. The video shows something invisible bending the man's finger all the way back in a way that looked painful, but no one or nothing was visibly there to cause it. What makes this especially chilling is that ghost encounters rarely involve physical pain, so for something unseen to cause actual discomfort is frightening and very unusual. The man himself looked shocked and confused, clearly shaken by the experience, and viewers watching the clip have been left wondering what exactly could have caused this strange event in the middle of an otherwise normal shopping trip. In 2011, a man named Henning was relaxing in his living room when he began hearing some strange cluttering sounds. At first, he brushed it off, assuming it was the house settling or something outside, but the noises persisted long enough to get under his skin. Finally, he grabbed his phone and went to investigate.
Hallo? 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 Hallo?
Following the sound, he discovered it was coming from one of the doors inside his home. The knob was shaking on its own, rattling as if someone was desperately trying to get in or out. Gathering his courage, Henning reached out, pulled the door open, and revealed absolutely nothing on the other side. For a moment he just stood there, baffled and uneasy, but before he could process it further, the door suddenly slammed shut right in front of him, nearly knocking the phone from his hand. The clip ends with him stunned, standing in disbelief, realizing he may not have been as alone in his home as he thought. Mike the runner decided he was going to visit an abandoned elementary school after hearing local rumors about how haunted it was. Even though he'd never really bought into paranormal stories, the curiosity of exploring a forgotten place pushed him to go anyway. With his camera in hand, he walked through the halls, surrounded by peeling paint, graffiti, and unsettling silence. His lens panned over drawings on the floor that looked like they had been left behind by children decades ago, adding an eerie layer to the atmosphere. However, it wasn't that which caused the real fear. It was something caught on camera at the end. While walking, he could swear he was hearing footsteps behind him, and eventually, he caught the probable cause on camera. It was a large and uncanny creature that caused him to bolt out of the facility, so comment what you think it was. A man decided to start documenting the strange things happening around his home after weeks of hearing noises he couldn't explain. At first it seemed small, but then the activity grew. And finally, one night, he managed to capture a series of events that left him shaken.
Man, this. The is that? What the is that? Some in the water or what? The is that? Man, some in my house. Get the out. The is that? Oh, that, I'm out. I'm out.
The footage begins with flashing lights in not just one, but two different rooms at the same time, pulsing in a way that looks completely unnatural. As he takes a moment to process what happened, an object sitting on the kitchen table, what appeared to be a salt shaker, suddenly shoots straight up into the air, hitting the ceiling before crashing back down. The man can be heard gasping in shock, barely processing what he's just seen, but before he can even react properly, the chair at the same table begins to slide across the surface, moving directly toward him as if being pushed by invisible hands. He immediately cuts the recording after this, and later admitted that it was the moment he realized whatever was inside his house wasn't just trying to get his attention, but possibly trying to intimidate him. Blackwing96, an online creator who's spoken before about his house being haunted, finally decided to try and capture proof of the activity he's lived with for years. One evening, after hearing strange noises coming from his bedroom, he grabbed his phone and began to record, determined to see what was happening.
Hey guys, it's Blackwing96, and I've been hearing some bumping noises upstairs, like right where my room is. I'm just gonna take a look at. Come on. Okay. Really. What the f was that? You guys hear that, right? Okay. That bottle of Windex was right here. I left it there this morning. It was right there. Alright. My room's kind of messy right now because lizards and such shit like that. I don't really know I'm supposed to. Oh, can you do that again?
The video shows him slowly approaching the door, pausing as faint sounds come from inside. When he walks in, his camera focuses on the desk in the corner, just as a mug slides a few inches on its own. Clearly startled, Blackwing 96 can be heard nervously laughing and asking it to do it again. Almost as if responding, the mug shifts once more, this time pushing all the way off the desk and smashing to the floor. His voice cracks in disbelief as he backs away, realizing that whatever presence he's been sharing the house with is more responsive and more real than he ever wanted it to be. A woman visiting her sister in the hospital swore she caught something strange out of the corner of her eye and decided to go looking for proof. With her phone in hand, she began walking through the dimly lit halls, recording as she went.
Otra vez están escuchando muchos ruidos. Oigan, ¿de dónde viene ese ruido? Se escucha como que gritaran, como si hablaran. No es nadie. Pues se escucha que grita. Creo que es de acá. Oigan, hay veces que se oyen las sillas de ruedas que caminan, que hablan. ¿Qué podrá ser? Ay, ¿qué podrá ser? ¡Ay, no! ¿Qué es eso? ¡Ay, no! Ahora sí, mire algo. No puede ser. No puede ser, ¿escucharon? Ahora sí sentí que alguien me tocó de verdad. Tengo que ir. No abre el pinche elevador. Les había dicho que se escucha mucho ruido. Voy a tener que ir por mi hija. ¡Abre! No abre. No está abriendo el elevador.
At first, everything seemed ordinary, but then a wooden shelf inside one of the side rooms suddenly slid across the floor entirely on its own, sending her into a panic. She immediately bolted for the nearest elevator, but on the way she yelped, saying she felt something brush against her arm, even though no one was around. The camera shakes as she stumbles, clearly terrified, before she finally makes it into the elevator and out of the ward. The footage has since left people convinced the hospital holds more than just patients inside its walls. That same night after escaping the hospital, she went straight home and crawled into bed, hoping the unsettling events were behind her. But just a few hours later, she was jolted awake by strange noises echoing through the house. Grabbing her phone once again, she went downstairs to investigate.
No mames. No sé si pueden escuchar. El bote de la basura. Chinga. Y el pinche bote de la basura se abre y se cierra solo. Ay, ¿qué se... Oye. ¿Qué podrá ser? No mames. ¿Qué ching... Oh, ¿qué es? ¿Qué chingados es? ¡Ay! Se escucha. ¡Ay, no mames! ¿Qué es esto? El pinche bote de basura se está abriendo y cerrando solo. No manches. ¿Por qué chingados está haciendo eso? ¿Qué? A ver.
The recording shows her carefully walking through the dark rooms, whispering as she tried to trace the source of the sound. It seemed to grow louder the closer she got to the bathroom, until finally she reached the bathroom where the trash can was, and it began opening and closing on its own, over and over, as if something inside was taunting her. Her breathing quickened, and she backed away in fear. She later admitted that after this moment, she began looking into buying a new home, convinced that whatever had followed her back from the hospital was not going to leave anytime soon. Sydney was home alone, her husband at work, and her baby peacefully napping in his crib. She decided to record a clip, capturing the chandelier swaying slightly above her and faint, unsettling noises in the background, as if someone were moving around upstairs.
Y'all, something really creepy is happening right now. My husband's at work. I'm the only one home, and listen. It sounds like someone is upstairs walking around. Okay, I'm actually freaking out because I just heard something drop upstairs, like on my ceiling. Hang on. Okay, I turned the video off because I'm actually really freaked out. That baby monitor that you saw laying on the ground is normally attached to the wall. My son isn't crawling, walking, pulling himself up, anything like that yet. So there's no way he could have done that. So now what do I do? All right, we're literally leaving the house. We're leaving the house.
The sounds grew louder until a sudden bang echoed from the upper floor. She cautiously went upstairs, only to find her son napping safely. However, the baby monitor, which was usually firmly screwed to the wall and far out of his reach, had somehow been dislodged and was lying on the floor. Confused and unnerved, Sydney decided to leave the house for a while, needing space to process the strange and inexplicable events she had just witnessed. Ian, the Midwest ghost hunter, is no stranger to abandoned places, always drawn to the thrill of exploring historic and reportedly haunted sites. On this night, he decided to investigate an old, abandoned theater that had long been rumored to have paranormal activity. The air smelled of dust and decay, and cobwebs hung from the rafters, but nothing had seemed out of place, until he spotted a faint, eerie mist drifting across the stage. Feeling both curious and cautious, he grabbed his camera and started recording.
Let's see if I can catch any on video. I know this is going to sound weird, being that I'm by myself, but I feel like I'm in a full house right now. There's so much energy in the air, I could just feel it. It's unbelievable. Oh my God! No way did all these lights just turn on. What the f***? Guys, I feel like I'm about to lose my freaking shit. If you just turn the lights on, could you shut them off? This theater is coming to life before my very eyes. This whole place is just alive right now. Could you please shut the lights off? Whoever turned them on, could you shut them off? I don't even know what to say, guys. I am utterly speechless right now. I'm just taking this all in. Amazing. Truly amazing. Holy crap. I'm the only one here. And I mean, unless there's like some...
Suddenly, all the lights in the theater turned on at once, illuminating the dusty interior in a harsh glare. Ian, speaking into the camera, asked the ghost to turn them off again, but nothing changed. The lights remained stubbornly on. Despite the playful attempt to communicate, the ghost refused to comply, leaving Ian visibly frustrated and spooked as the clip ends, teasing more discoveries to come in future explorations, so subscribe. Henrique had started recording that night after his young daughter mentioned hearing weird tapping sounds coming from near her cabinet while trying to fall asleep. Wanting to prove it was nothing, Henrique turned on his phone camera and began filming the quiet room, pointing the camera toward the cabinet where his son usually slept beside.
O que vocês fariam se vocês não acabei, eu juro por Deus, eu vi negócio preto aqui do lado da... até acordou, cara.
For the first few seconds, nothing seemed strange, just a normal night. Then, suddenly, a shadow passes across the window beside the bed, moving too fast and too high to be anything outside. A split second later, a loud bang echoes through the room, startling him. He rushes to the window to check, but when he looks out, there's nothing. The yard below is empty, and since the window is on the second floor, no person or animal could have walked by. Henrique stays silent for a moment, the camera still recording, trying to make sense of what he just saw. The shadow shouldn't have been possible, and yet it was right there, just inches away from where his son had been sleeping hours before. In the following video, Zane and a group of friends had been out riding a large loader-style vehicle late at night, the kind used mostly in construction or transport. They'd started filming simply because the moon looked incredible that night, big and bright above the houses on the road. Everything seemed fine until, without warning, the vehicle suddenly lost power and came to a stop.
How big the moon is, it's really big. Anyway, it's pretty cool. What the hell? No. No, 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 no. Wait, there's nothing there.
You can hear them joking at first, trying to figure out what happened, but confusion quickly replaces laughter when they realize there's no mechanical reason why it shut off. While filming the breakdown, Zane pans the camera slightly, catching the reflection in one of the side mirrors. Behind the vehicle, clear as day, stands a man. He's motionless, perfectly still, and yet when the group turns around to look in real life, there's nobody there. The spot behind them is completely empty. They replay the clip several times, trying to understand what they saw, but every time, the figure is visible only in the mirror. It wasn't one of them, and it wasn't a trick of the light, just a man standing in silence behind their vehicle, gone the second they looked. For 8 long years, a woman had lived in this same house, and even after all that time, the strange things that happen inside still managed to shake her. This video is just another reminder of why she's never truly gotten used to it. She starts filming while sitting down, focused on the doorway ahead, as something that hinted something was about to happen had come. Faint knocking sounds can be heard, light but repetitive, echoing from somewhere down the hall. It's rhythmic, almost patient, like someone quietly trying to get her attention. She hesitates before standing up, the camera trembling slightly as she walks through the hallway toward the front room. Each step she takes seems to make the knocking fade, until, right as she reaches the end of the hall, it stops completely. The silence that follows feels heavy, like the house itself is holding its breath, waiting for her next move. We do not know what her next course of action was, but I definitely hope she's made an effort of banishing it for her own good. The farmland behind the house in the next video stretched out for acres, quiet and open, the kind of place that always felt peaceful no matter the time of day. But this afternoon, that calm didn't last long. After hearing some strange sounds earlier, Ethan Ryder decided to step outside to check things out. Little did he know that something sinister was waiting.
Oh gosh. So I got the stray cat out here, right? Now checking on it. This thing's cute as and I look up. What the I'm gonna go look over. Real quick. Y'all see it? Oh, y'all see that shit though? Is this disappearing?
He unlocks the door and steps into the sunlight, spotting a stray cat sitting near the steps, looking harmless and almost comforting. But as Ethan looks past it, his camera catches something across the yard, far out at the edge of his garden. A tall, black figure is standing there, completely still, facing directly toward him. It doesn't move an inch, even in the wind. Ethan starts walking closer, trying to figure out who or what it is, but just as he gets a little nearer, the figure vanishes right before his eyes. In broad daylight, with nothing to hide behind, it simply disappears. This was, of course, extremely disturbing. In the follow-up clip, Ethan decided to take his investigation further by heading into the basement, a part of the property he'd always avoided. The place was a complete mess, with it being dusty, cluttered, and filled with old furniture and boxes stacked against the walls. He had no idea that something else was down there too, though. Take a look.
I'm in the basement. I'm about to talk to this ghost or whatever it is. It's pretty scary. If you can't tell, my basement is scary as hell. But let's talk to it. Is there anybody in here? If you're in here, show yourself. Oh no, y'all see that? What the fuck? Oh hell no. Is that a door? Oh hell no, hold up. Is anybody in here? Oh hell no, I'm out. I'm out this place.
He starts recording, trying to talk to whatever might be there, asking if anybody's down there with him. His voice echoes slightly as he asks it to show itself, waiting in the stillness for any kind of response. A few seconds later, something suddenly drops in the far corner of the basement and bounces across the floor like a small rubber ball being tossed out of nowhere. Ethan swings the camera toward the noise, but there's no one there, just empty space and darkness. Realizing he's completely alone, panic sets in. Though the video cuts off soon after, Ethan later admitted that he bolted out of the basement, convinced something unseen had responded to him. After posting the basement video, Ethan's comments were flooded with viewers daring him to go back outside and try talking to whatever he had seen before. Against his better judgment, he decided to do it. This time, he filmed himself walking through the same open farmland, heading straight toward the spot where that black figure had first appeared. Would it appear again? You'll have to watch and discover for yourself.
So I got told to go talk to it. So I'm gonna go talk to it.
It's dark as out here. I can't see shit. I see a few trees. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's dark as yeah. And scary as hell. Oh hell no! What the f is that? What the oh hell no!
The area looked calm again with nothing unusual and no sign of movement anywhere. He communicated with his camera to talk to the viewers and then stopped for a moment. For a few moments, there's only silence and the sound of wind brushing through the grass. Then Ethan turns the camera around toward the house and freezes. In the downstairs window, a dark, human-shaped silhouette is standing perfectly still, facing him. It's the same figure from before, only now it's inside his home, staring down at him through the glass. Ethan gasps and immediately starts running back across the yard, the footage shaking violently as he tries to get away. That's where the clip ends. According to viewers, Ethan Ryder was never heard from again. We can only hope that he is okay. Jack works night shifts as a cleaner in a large office complex, often by herself for hours at a time. Recently, she'd been telling people that strange things kept happening while she was cleaning, such as doors opening on their own, lights flickering, and footsteps echoing through empty hallways. To prove she wasn't imagining it, she decided to set up a few cameras around the building to see if he could capture anything unusual. Fortunately for her and our entertainment, one of them succeeded. One of those cameras ended up recording something that she still can't explain. In the footage, everything looks normal at first, just a quiet office hallway with a single door at the end. Then, for a brief moment, a blurred face appears in the small glass window of the door, almost like someone is peeking out from behind it. The face lingers for a second, before quickly retreating out of sight. Jack swears she was completely alone that night, and the CCTV from the rest of the building confirmed that nobody else was there. Whatever was behind that door wasn't supposed to be in the building at all, and had an unwelcome stay. After the first clip went viral, Jack decided to start filming firsthand to prove she wasn't just relying on security footage. This time, she set her phone up while finishing her cleaning duties in the same room where the face had appeared days earlier. She explains that while taking the trash out, she heard a faint voice nearby, which is what made her start recording in the first place. The office is silent with the light on, and every sound feels amplified as she walks around trying to show there's nobody there.
Okay, so I'm doing the trash. This is the same room that had that face right here. And I was cleaning this bathroom, and I had my phone on this cart, right? I just heard
For most of the recording, nothing seems out of the ordinary, just Jack moving around the room and talking. But right near the end of the clip, as she's about to stop recording, a soft whisper can be heard coming from somewhere off camera. It's quiet, but unmistakable, a chilling voice that simply says hello. Jack freezes for a moment before the clip ends abruptly. Whether it was the same presence caught on camera before, or something new entirely, she's now more convinced than ever that she isn't alone in that building. Dom was in his room late at night, just winding down after a long day. The house was quiet, too quiet, and he was just starting to relax when he noticed something strange. His bedroom door began opening and closing on its own. Hesitant but curious, he grabbed his camera and waited.
Guys, like, what the heck? I'm home alone right now. I'm literally like shaking right now, and my door keeps on moving by itself. There's like no windows open or nothing, and I'm definitely home alone. Like, what the? Oh my! What the? Hello? Hello? Is anybody in here? What in the heck? Hello? I swear you bet. Hello? You better not be pranking me right now.
What the hell? Oh!
The door swung shut again, and Dom quickly got up to see what could be causing it. When he looked, nothing was there. Shaken, he turned back toward the hallway, but then another door down the hall slammed closed. Heart racing, he ran over and opened it, but to his dismay, the bathroom was empty. The house was silent once more, leaving Dom unsettled and unsure of what he had just witnessed. After this, Dom said he spent the rest of the night on edge, constantly checking the doors and considering calling a paranormal expert to figure out what might be haunting his home. The next day, Dom went about his routine, relieved that nothing else had happened. He passed it off as a one-time strange occurrence and tried to convince himself the house was normal. But that night, just as the clock struck midnight, he was jolted awake by a chill running through the room. In the dim moonlight, his camera captured a shadowy figure, half hidden, peeking out from his closet. Its shape was disturbingly human, yet something about it seemed wrong, demonic even. Fear rooted him to the spot for a moment, but adrenaline pushed him to get out of bed and check inside the closet. After it vanished back into the darkness, the space was empty, leaving him shaken and unsure of what he had just witnessed. After this terrifying encounter, Dom said he spent the rest of the night too scared to sleep, constantly glancing at the closet and considering reaching out to a paranormal expert. He admitted the experience left a lingering fear that his house was far from the safe haven it once was, and he began contemplating steps to protect himself from whatever unseen presence seemed to be haunting him. Rosanna was asleep one night, peacefully as ever, when she was abruptly woken by a series of loud, piercing screams that echoed through the house. Groggy and startled, she grabbed her camera to record what was happening.
Small.
The screams were audible first, sharp and chilling, and then her bedroom door began opening on its own. Terrified, she quickly shut it, only for it to swing open again almost immediately. Hesitant but compelled, she stepped out of the room, and that's when something even stranger appeared. A small, black blur in the bottom right corner of the camera frame. The sight was sudden and inexplicable, causing her to stumble back into her room, unsure whether what she saw was a ghost or some other unseen force blocking her path. After this, Rosanna said she felt exhausted and unnerved, unsure if she would ever understand what had visited her that night, and that the experience left her shaken well into the next day. Mykolenko, one of the most skilled ghost hunters out there, had been doing this long enough to know when a location would be bad. This time, he was searching a dark, decrepit house, hoping to secure a payout from a client who wanted proof of paranormal activity. He already suspected the place was haunted, but he didn't expect just how intense it would get.
Резко свет. Все, батарея разряжена. Только включу.
As his camera rolled, a cupboard creaked open just an inch on its own, followed moments later by a cabinet swinging fully open with no one near it. Then, almost as if whatever was in the house was trying to stop him, the battery on his motion detector suddenly died, cutting short what felt like a major paranormal surge. Mykolenko left with undeniable evidence and once again, a satisfied client who paid him in full. Subscribe because Mykolenko will be appearing in future videos. Eji and his wife were fast asleep when a series of strange noises jolted them awake. At first, they couldn't quite make out what they were hearing, but the more they listened, the more it became chilling. It sounded almost like demonic laughter, mixed with the faint cry of a baby.
Cobalah dicek. Apa? Kan ada apa-apa.
As the camera recorded, the unsettling noises continued before the carpet covering a lamp suddenly got launched away, sending the lamp crashing to the floor. The couple froze, unsure if they should run or investigate. In the aftermath, Eiji said they barely slept that night and have since been debating whether to bring in a paranormal investigator or simply leave the house altogether. They decided against getting an expert because their budget was too low, and for the next few days, nothing out of the ordinary happened. They thought they were safe, but when Eiji went to his boxing gym, things took a terrifying turn.
Ada nyala, Cok, nggak ada orang.
While hitting the punching bag, he suddenly heard a piano playing from another building. He followed the sound and found the piano playing entirely on its own. As he searched for a possible explanation, a strange noise came from a nearby closet, eerily similar to the laugh from before, sending him running. They are now contacting a priest to deal with whatever is haunting them. Jeff was going about his usual day when he suddenly heard some clattering coming from his kitchen. Curious, he went to check it out, camera in hand.
Just sitting around here waiting for something to clean. Need something to clean. Anything over here? No, nothing in the sink there. How about over here? No, nothing there. Over here? No. People, need something to clean here. Let me take a closer look. Anything down here? No, nothing there. Alright, let me check over here. God, I am bored! Something to clean, please!
His kitchen tap was moving on its own, twisting and swiveling like it was searching for something to clean. Instead of panicking, Jeff couldn't resist joking about it, narrating the tap with silly voice lines like, "I need something to clean," and mimicking its motions. The comedic energy seemed to affect the situation. After a few more moments of playful banter, the tap stopped moving entirely, as if the spirit had been amused enough to leave. Jeff laughed it off, but remained cautious, keeping a camera nearby in case the kitchen decided to get playful again. The light-hearted approach was enough to end the encounter without needing any outside help. The following video took place in the house of Tommy Wells, and it was terrifying to say the least. He had been experiencing paranormal activity for a period as long as a month at the time of this recording, and it really was beginning to get too much. The things that this spirit was doing could not be written off as torment. This stuff was torture, and the next few videos on this channel are going to prove that, starting with today's. He and his wife set up a camera late one night to see what they would be able to capture, because they had documented their hauntings on YouTube for a while now. Fortunately, the ghost was still happy to showcase its powers in front of a camera.
I'm so glad we went and got this camcorder.
Is it working good?
Yeah, it's working real good.
Good deal. You got good color and everything?
Oh yeah, I like it.
Good deal. Might be one of the best investments we ever made, man. Wish
Oh,
we
yeah.
had it in here earlier tonight with all that bullshit that's fucking going on.
Yeah, I know, we could have got it on camcorder then.
Had been awesome as shit.
Yep.
About ready to turn in and hit the bed?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
It's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the friggin' morning, probably.
God.
Look, listen.
What is that, baby?
God damn, we ain't going
Oh,
to
shit.
bed yet. God damn it. Fuck. Hold on, Jerry, real quick. Watch out.
Okay.
I'll be straight back, baby.
Okay. Oh, shit!
What is it?
That noise.
Get out here with me. Come on. Jerry!
Where's Jerry?
Jerry! It's lights down. Get over here, man! Take it easy. What the fucking thing going on?
I don't know. I really God don't know.
the hell was that? What was that? That didn't sound like that pit bull got scared right there. We're out there raising hell. Just come with me and see what. Who the hell's in here? I'll check on Gary again, see if he's call him or something, get him on the phone or something. Call him. He ain't over here yet.
This time, its most prominent showing was playing the piano, and you could tell it's been able to play this thing for years. Unfortunately, this was not the time for piano fun though, because it creeped the living hell out of the woman and Tommy. The most frightening part about all of this though, is that it is only the beginning and a long, treacherous night is ahead of them. Subscribe so you do not miss Tommy's future appearances on Haunter. A local resident had reached out to Camilla, asking her to record a cleansing of what she referred to as the Death Room, a space with a dark history they wanted documented for a private Facebook group. Camilla agreed to film, thinking it would just be a simple ritual and nothing more.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
The footage shows the woman standing just outside the room in front of the doorway, reading a plea for God to cleanse and protect the space. Her voice is steady, echoing softly off the walls, while Camilla keeps the camera focused on her. Halfway through the prayer, the jewelry hanging from the woman's wrist suddenly shifts and swings on its own, the small, dangly piece moving as if something invisible had brushed against it. The woman doesn't break her chant, but Camilla is shocked at what she's capturing. She's since said this is the clip she shows anyone who doubts her, insisting nothing about that moment was staged. The next video shows Camilla alone, sitting in a room that we cannot identify, explaining the story behind the now infamous death room.
A lot of you guys have seen that video, so I just want to explain it. Basically, one of the patients here asked me to record a video of her while she was anointing her room to post on her Facebook group page. It's like Catholic group page or whatever. And while she was praying, the rosary little gets yanked out of her hand. That's not even the weirdest thing that's happened there. Mind you, we all call this death room because anytime a patient goes in there, they pass away or they get sent to the hospital after they come in healthy. I can't, due to the confidentiality of the families and our respect for everybody in the patients, I'm literally not allowed to say that much. But the craziest thing that happened, and my coworker literally got a video of it. We had this therapy dog come in and it's playing with our patients, and then it literally runs away and it goes to the door of this death room, right? The death room, and it starts whimpering. This is a therapy dog, like.
You like the sucker? You ready to go take a shower? Yeah, here. It's not worth it? Where's your other sucker? You only have one? Use it. Yeah.
Really?
She begins by saying that the room got its grim nickname for a reason. Every patient who was ever placed in it eventually passed away, no matter their condition going in. Camilla's tone is serious, her voice trembling slightly, as she talks about how the room has been avoided ever since. She goes on to share something even stranger, a story about the therapy dog that regularly visits the facility. According to her, the dog once left its group session on its own and walked straight to the door of the death room, where it began to whimper uncontrollably. To back it up, Camilla includes footage showing exactly that, the dog standing outside the door, crying and refusing to move closer. She explains that nobody could calm it down for several minutes, and from that day forward, it never approached that part of the hallway again. CCTV footage from the corner of the hallway outside the so-called death room would only deepen the mystery. The unsettling clip shows the corridor completely empty, save for the green flash of the call light above the door. Take a look at what happens next.
Why is it beeping? I don't know, no one's in there. That's crazy. Get the light, get the light. You saying chicken? Yes. Did you just get that on camera? No. Stop. No, I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is insane right now. Right there.
Okay, you're gonna stop this right now.
After a few seconds, the light begins to flicker on and off in short, sharp bursts, as though being triggered by something unseen. Then, without warning, the door to the room slowly swings shut by itself, the sound echoing faintly through the hall. Moments later, a few nurses are drawn by the noise and go to investigate. One of them, clearly unnerved, calls out for whoever or whatever might be there to stop. They check the room thoroughly, opening the door and stepping inside, but it's completely empty. Nothing and no one to explain what had just been caught. To this day, the death room remains one of the facility's most unsettling mysteries, one even the staff refuse to discuss in detail. CCTV footage from a quiet kitchen captured something that left viewers unsettled. In the dim glow of a nightlight, a strange, fast-moving shadow sweeps across the back of the room, its shape unclear but unmistakably humanoid in motion. Both the household cat and dog can be seen reacting at the same time, their heads snapping in unison to follow the invisible movement. The cat perches its head up while the dog stiffens, staring at the same spot where the shadow had passed, as though something was still there. This all unfolded at 12:45 in the morning, a time when the house should have been completely still. The pet's synchronized reactions only add to the footage's creepiness, giving it a sense of authenticity that's hard to dismiss. When the homeowner reviewed the video the next day, they admitted it gave them chills, seeing their animals watch something that, on camera, looked like pure darkness gliding across the kitchen. They're thinking of selling the house. On September the 18th of 2006, a group of urban explorers decided to experiment inside a notorious abandoned house in Toronto. One of them, acting as the camera woman, documented the entire thing.
So we are September 18th, 2006. We are officially 18 days behind schedule. These guys have been working for 6 months and I have no idea what they've been doing. Our renovation is not gone to any schedule. I mean, they're still drywall these guys haven't hung. I don't know what the hell they've been doing. The hardwood floor is not even touched. We have no electrical. I mean, it's just a wire with a bulb. It's not gonna do me any good. The carpet up the stairs has just been ruined. Oh, there's even more damage. Like now things are peeling off the walls. Everything up here, I mean, it's just disgusting. I don't know what the hell's going on. Look at, there's holes in the walls up here. It's just, oh Jesus!
As she steps through the front door, her voice trembles slightly as she describes the interior. The place is filthy and falling apart, littered with old belongings and cracked walls. Slowly, she climbs the creaking staircase to the upper floor, pointing out holes in the walls and floors that make the place even more dangerous using her night vision camera. But just as she's narrating the damage, a loud bang echoes from down the hall. Spinning the camera toward the sound, she captures a faint human-like figure at the end of the corridor, turning sharply as if to hide behind a corner. Her breathing becomes panicked as she realizes she isn't alone. Without hesitation, she bolts down the stairs and out of the house, the footage shaking wildly as she runs for her life. Hugh and her friends made it out that day, so the only question is, will they be returning? Fuego had been documenting strange occurrences in his home for weeks, hoping to finally catch something on camera that explained the unease he felt every night. In this clip, he stands outside his youngest child's bedroom, his phone trembling in his hand as several loud bangs echo from behind the door. The only downside is that his youngest child passed away, but he kept the room in her memory.
¿Se escucha el ruido? Acá está la habitación de mi hija. Ey. Uy, se siente re fría esta habitación. ¿Qué carajo? El ruido viene de acá adentro, me parece. Concha de tu madre, la concha de tu madre. Otra vez, ¿ves? Ruido acá adentro. ¿Qué onda?
Steeling himself, he pushes it open and steps inside, immediately struck by the sound of slow, uneven breathing coming from somewhere in the room. The door behind him slams shut off camera, making him jolt and spin around in panic. Suddenly, a little girl's laugh cuts through the silence, high-pitched and chilling, followed by the clattering of something moving behind the wardrobe door. Without warning, a toy basketball rolls across the floor. Before he can react, the wardrobe itself begins to shake violently. Summoning his nerve, Fuego swings the door open to reveal a small plastic bear toy sitting inside, its speaker crackling to life as it plays distorted music. The girl-like noises intensify, becoming more agitated, echoing from all around him rather than one spot. Overwhelmed, Fuego turns and sprints from the room, the camera not capturing this and cutting after one motion. He is considering leaving the house, but doesn't want to tarnish his last memory of his daughter. A man had set up his phone in a music room. He's long believed to be haunted, speaking directly to his audience about its strange history without going into detail about the incidents themselves. His tone is calm at first, explaining that he's there alone to document what might happen when nobody else is around.
Hola, una. Estoy acá en mi estudio. Puta madre. Otra vez vuelvo a sentir ruido. La verdad que... Escucha la lora. La puta madre. Ay, la puta.
As he talks, one of the guitars mounted on the wall gives a slight, almost imperceptible sway behind him, but he's too focused on speaking to notice. Moments later, a sudden thud echoes across the room as something falls from a desk next to a keyboard, hitting the floor hard enough to startle him mid-sentence. He whips his head toward the sound, clearly unnerved now, scanning the room for any explanation but finding nothing. His composure breaks, and he quickly backs away from the desk before turning and bolting from the room. He is still struggling on what to do next, but who knows if he will see this video. Just in case he does, feel free to comment some advice for him. Crisela Luna, a paranormal investigator known for exploring some of Mexico's most infamous haunted sites, had previously terrified viewers with her visit to the abandoned Hotel Posada del Sol. Now, she's back at the exact same location, continuing her exploration into the unknown. This time, the video begins with her walking toward a rusted old tractor, surrounded by overgrown brush, the atmosphere quiet but tense.
Ay, Dios. Ay, ay, ay. Creo que fue ese pajarito lo que generó el ruido, como que salió de aquí. Ahí está inquieto porque llegamos. Pues al parecer está todo muy tranquilo. Desde que llegamos no hemos recibido una sola manifestación. ¡Ay! ¿Qué pasó? ¡Ay! ¿Qué pasó? No se vio nada en la cámara. ¿Tú viste algo, Melissa? No. Está revoloteando aquí este pajarito. Parece que se siente mal. Pero esto me asustó. ¿Qué será? Ay, ¿qué será? Aquí está. Eso es lo que nos está asustando. Está inquieto porque estamos aquí. ¡Ay! 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 ¿Qué tronó? ¿Qué tronó? ¿Qué tronó? ¿Qué tronó? ¡Ay, no! ¿Qué es? ¿Qué está pasando? Está aquí bastante oscuro. No sabemos qué está pasando. Hay plasmaciones en las paredes. Si pueden ver, vean. Ustedes mismos quiero que detecten las plasmaciones de los rostros que hay, de rostros diabólicos incluso.
Aquí parece que no hay una sola energía, parece que hay más entidades y no solo la de esta señora.
She suddenly freezes as a strange noise echoes from behind her, prompting her to spin the camera around in every direction. But there's nothing there. Determined, she keeps moving, her flashlight cutting through the darkness, when another bizarre sound, closer this time, makes her stop again. She lets out a quick scream, but keeps recording, spotting a bird resting unnaturally still nearby. As she films it closely, another sound erupts in the distance, sharp and loud, like a gunshot tearing through the silence. Crizelle gasps, and the camera shakes, cutting just as she turns toward the noise. The video ends there, leaving her audience desperate to know what she discovered next. Subscribe to my channel, as her story will continue in future videos. The house Jessica explored looked more like a skeleton than a home, as every wall was stripped down to wood. No furniture, no wallpaper, nothing but exposed beams and empty space, like a human without the flesh. Renovators had started work there weeks before, but after a series of unexplained incidents, they stopped altogether and put the place up for sale. This is what encouraged Jessica to visit, so have a look.
Oh my god. Oh, what was that? Nobody here. I hope it was just a draft, because you see, there is no wall. Oh my god. I hope there is no ghost. Guys, what do you think?
Jessica's footage shows her cautiously walking through the silent rooms, her shoes creaking against the bare floors. The emptiness of the house was unsettling enough, but what happened next made it worse. As she stepped into what used to be the living room, the door behind her slammed shut, the sound echoing through the entire space. She jumped, turned immediately, and opened it again, revealing nothing but the usual neighborhood. Jessica walked outside for a moment, trying to convince herself it was just the wind, but everything was still. Nobody was near the door, no breeze, no movement. She hesitated, then went back inside, whispering that she hoped there weren't any ghosts. But her tone said otherwise. Even through the camera, the house felt off. The atmosphere was heavy, as if the walls themselves were watching. Whatever drove the renovation team away, Jessica might have just met it herself. Jarek was driving late at night, the kind of quiet road where every small sound feels louder than it should. His camera picked up the hum of the engine and the faint rattle of loose items in the back seat. Nothing out of the ordinary. Until suddenly, the rear door of his car swung open on its own before slowly closing again.
Barrio. Sige pa. Multa ata yung nasakay ko ah. Ay, shit. Ay, wala.
Wala. Multo yung nasakay ko. Diyos ko. May sumakay kanina. May sumakay kanina, pero bakit nawala?
Jarek didn't stop right away, just stared into his rear-view mirror, his face tightening as if he'd seen something behind him. For a few seconds, he kept driving, glancing between the road and the mirror like he was trying to make sense of what he'd just witnessed. Then he finally pulled over, took a breath, and looked back to see nothing there. Moments later, the footage cut to his dashcam view. That's when it got even stranger. In the reflection of the taillights and the faint glow of the street lamps, a white mist could be seen at the side of the road. It drifted along the road, almost keeping pace, shifting in shape like it was alive. Jarek said there was no fog that night, no smoke, no weather that could explain it. After that drive, he refused to take that same road again, saying whatever was following him wasn't done yet and may come back for more. Leon arrived home just before dawn, the streets empty and silent, that strange grey hour where the night hadn't fully ended yet. He immediately noticed something off. The light in his front room was on. He stood there for a moment, confused, because he was certain he hadn't left it like that. He never did. It was nearly 5 in the morning, and Leon was already on edge. As he walked toward the door, a faint voice could be heard from inside, low and rhythmic, like someone singing under their breath.
Recién estoy llegando a mi casa. Dejé la luz apagada. Son casi las 5 de la mañana. Recién llegué. Se ve la puerta abierta. Sí, es rarísimo. Yo nunca dejo la luz prendida. Nunca me pasó esto. Estoy escuchando ruidos aparte. Se escucha alguien cantando. Está la ventana acá abierta. Sí. La concha de su madre. No, es altísimo. Es altísimo. ¿Qué mierda sos? No, es altísimo. Está casi llegando al techo. Jesús, hijo de puta. No es altísimo. Es altísimo. Jesús. No, está casi llegando al techo. No sé si se logra captar bien, pero es una figura altísima. Nunca vi algo así. Entra, hijo de puta. No me dejes. No puedo entrar. No puedo entrar. Hijo de puta, se fue.
He slowly lifted his phone and peeked through the window. What he captured sent chills through anyone who's seen the footage since. A tall, black shadow figure was standing in the middle of the room. It was so tall it nearly touched the ceiling, its outline distorted, but motionless. Leon's breathing got heavier as he pushed the door open, revealing the same dark figure still there, perfectly still. Then suddenly, the door slammed on him with immense force. He tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge, as if something was pushing from the inside. After several seconds, the resistance faded, and he stumbled in. The room was empty, and whatever had been there was gone. Leon says this isn't the first time his house has done this, and next time, he plans to catch it for good. After what happened the night before, Leon finally tried to get some rest, but that peace didn't last long. Not even an hour after lying down, the sound of footsteps began outside his bedroom, slow, deliberate, and unmistakably close.
Me acabo de acostar, pero hay algo que lo escuché. Hay alguien corriendo. ¡Basta! 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 Aparece, aparece, basta. Aparece. Salí. Yo no te tengo más miedo. No te tengo más miedo. Aparece. Aparece. ¿Qué es eso? Estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? Te estoy viendo ahí. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás?
The steps stopped right outside his door, and the handle started moving, and it was immediately done in an aggressive manner, like someone testing it from the other side. The knocking came next, soft at first, then louder and faster, echoing through the walls. He could even hear faint taps against his windows, like whatever it was had surrounded the room completely. The door then creaked open by itself, the sound sharp and dragging. Leon sat up, took a deep breath, and whispered that he wasn't afraid anymore. He got out of bed and then walked toward the open doorway. The bathroom was silent except for the shower curtain moving slightly on its own, as if someone had brushed against it. Leon steadied the camera, stepped closer, and pushed it in one swift motion. Upon pulling it back, there was nothing there. Just the empty bathroom, quiet again. But the fear wasn't gone, the pattern was repeating, and Leon knew the presence in his house hadn't left. It was just getting bolder, and he plans on taking action. Make sure to comment what you think he should do. Late at night, the room was quiet except for the sound of faint breathing and the steady hum of the camera. The person filming was already in bed, pointing their phone toward an old doll sitting upright in the open closet across the room. The way it caught the dim light was unsettling enough, but then the banging started, loud, repetitive, and heavy thuds echoing from the ceiling above.
Knocking again? Can you please stop? I really want to sleep. What do you want? Can you answer me? What is it that you want? Please stop.
Even with the noise growing stronger, the camera never wavered from the doll. The person behind it, sounding both annoyed and uneasy, told it to stop, saying they were just trying to sleep. The pounding continued for another few seconds before silence fell again. That's when they asked the question everyone watching later would wish they hadn't. What do you want? There was a pause, and then, through the darkness, a voice whispered back. It was soft, but clear enough to understand. It asked him to leave his own house. The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once, not just the doll, and the clip cut out immediately after, leaving whatever happened next unknown. Until a second video. This video picked up just hours after the first one ended. He hadn't slept at all that night, not after hearing that voice. But what happened next made it clear that whatever was in the house wasn't finished with him yet. Lying in bed, he began hearing the sound of running water, faint at first, then constant. The sink in his bathroom had somehow turned itself on. Moments later, the light inside that same bathroom flicked on by itself, casting a glow that was visible in the crack at the bottom of the door. That's when he started filming again.
So I'm at my desk again. I heard the sink turn on, and then the light turned on when I saw I was watching it. So now I just turned it off, and it's on.
The video shows the light suddenly cutting off again, plunging the bathroom into complete darkness. He gets out of bed, phone in hand, and walks toward the bathroom door across the hall, the same one that had been flickering. His breathing grows faster as he reaches for the handle, pulls it open, and reveals the sink still running full blast. He reaches forward and turns the tap handle off himself, pausing for a second before scanning the empty room with his camera. There's no one there, no movement. Just the sound of dripping water echoing against the tiles. He later explained that this couldn't have been a plumbing problem, as the handle had been in the fully open position, not half-turned or stuck. Something had physically moved it. It wasn't a leak or faulty pipe. It was something else, something with intent. By the time he filmed again, things inside the house had become almost unbearable. He tried to keep himself distracted that night by playing video games at his desk, headphones on, pretending that last night hadn't happened. But that illusion broke fast. Somewhere behind him, faint strings began to hum, the soft sound of a guitar playing itself. He froze. The noise came again, this time a clearer pluck, as if someone was testing the strings. He turned around to see the guitar resting on its stand, exactly where it should be, unmoved, but he swore it had just shifted. That's when he started recording.
So I'm playing video games at my desk, and I just heard the guitar play itself, and it moved, I swear. Let's see if it does it again.
Through the camera, you can see the guitar vibrating slightly, moving on its own before slowly tipping forward and falling into the one beside it with a dull thud. He flinched, but didn't stop filming. Then came the knocking in sharp, repetitive hits from somewhere near the door. He turned the camera toward the sound, his hand with the device shaking. Just as he did, 2 clear piano notes played from the corner of the room, followed by silence. A moment later, the knocking started again, faster this time, echoing through the small space. He said afterward that he couldn't take it anymore. Between the doll, the running taps, and now the instruments playing themselves, it felt like the spirit was tightening its grip on the house. He's already looking for somewhere else to live, saying he'll leave everything behind if it means finally getting peace. Ian, the well-known ghost hunter from the Midwest, was back again, this time exploring a haunted factory with a dark history. Locals claimed several workers had died there under mysterious circumstances, and Ian wanted to see if their presence still lingered. The clip begins deep inside what employees once called the touching room, a small space off one of the main corridors that, according to rumors, always felt unnaturally cold.
Oh, whoa, look at that. Door's already open. It's almost as if it's inviting me to go in there. That makes me not want to go in there even more. Oh, I suppose I have to. Or I could just procrastinate in here. If you're in there, could you make a sound? Here goes. Hello? Is there anyone in here? Why don't you come out and show yourself? You like to touch people and grab at them. Why don't you touch me? I'm not afraid. I might jump a little. There's an eerie feeling in here. Are you one of the tannery workers? Or are you one of the spirits that came through the portal? I just heard a noise. Then that means I could be anybody. That means it could be.
The door to the room was already open when Ian arrived, almost like it was inviting him in. He stood at the threshold for a moment, flashlight trembling slightly, before asking if anything was inside with him, if it could make a sound to prove it was there. Silence at first, just the hum of the camera and his own nervous breathing. Finally, he stepped inside. Minutes passed as he continued calling out, asking for any sign, any touch, anything at all. Then from somewhere deep in the room, an unexplained noise broke through, faint but distinct, like a metallic scrape, followed by a short thump. Ian froze instantly. He panned his camera around slowly, the beam of light trembling as he tried to pinpoint where the sound came from. Whatever it was, it didn't happen again, leaving only heavy silence. If you've followed Ian's haunted investigations before, you'll know this is far from over. Subscribe so you don't miss the continuation of his terrifying night in the factory. Chris had no doubt his house was haunted after the chilling evidence he caught in a previous video, where a voice had clearly told him to get out. Determined to keep documenting, he began filming again, talking about that experience and how it had changed the way he felt about being in his own home.
You can hear that, can't you? I can. Sound like tapping. Everybody's like, oh, it's the hutch. It's the hutch.
While he was speaking, faint tapping noises began echoing around him. They were well and truly impossible to ignore. Then it happened again. The same unmistakable voice commanding him to get out. Before Chris could even react, something nearby toppled over loudly, cutting through the silence and sending him into panic. In the aftermath of the video, Chris admitted he was more unnerved than ever, convinced the spirit wasn't just trying to make itself known, but actively warning him. He's now torn between continuing to capture proof or taking the voice's message seriously and leaving for good. Martio was spending a quiet evening in his bedroom, his cats curled up beside him, when he suddenly began hearing the sound of things falling somewhere else in the house. At first, he ignored it, hoping it was nothing more than the cats knocking something over earlier, but the noises continued and grew harder to dismiss. After about 20 seconds, he decided to grab his camera and leave the bedroom to see what was happening. As he reached the kitchen, the mess was obvious, as several cups were already scattered across the floor. Just as he was taking it all in, another blue cup fell, though the camera didn't manage to catch it hitting the ground. Marcio could be heard exhaling sharply, clearly shaken by the realization that something unseen was causing the chaos. In the aftermath, he explained that he had no open windows, no pets in the kitchen, and no explanation for why multiple cups would all topple at once. He admitted that he no longer felt safe walking into that room alone and was considering setting up cameras overnight to see what else might happen when he wasn't there to witness it. On May 1st, 2020, at roughly 4:30 in the afternoon, a family's quiet day took a strange turn when their home security cameras caught something they couldn't explain. The family had installed CCTV months earlier, mainly as a precaution after a few break-ins were reported in their neighborhood. For the most part, the cameras never recorded anything out of the ordinary, just kids playing outside, the dog wandering around, or the usual comings and goings of daily life. That is why what they found on this particular recording was so disturbing. In the footage, one of the interior doors slowly swings open on its own, revealing nothing on the other side. There is no person, no pet, and no sign of anyone who could have pushed or pulled it. The incident left the family deeply unsettled. They combed through every second of the recording before and after the event, hoping to find a clue that might explain what happened, but the area behind the door remained empty the entire time. They even checked the hinges and the frame, thinking maybe a draft or uneven flooring could have caused the door to move, but everything was sturdy and intact. Neighbors who saw the clip were just as spooked, pointing out how unnaturally slow and deliberate the movement looked. Since then, the family admitted they no longer feel the same comfort in their own home, describing the experience as a reminder that sometimes the strangest things happen in broad daylight when you least expect it. C's Crazy Crossroads is a YouTube channel run by a ghost hunter with over 50,000 subscribers, known for exploring terrifying locations on his own and sharing the results with his growing audience. In one particular video, he ventured into what's become known locally as the contractor's haunted house, a place so notorious that even seasoned investigators hesitate to step inside. According to him, the energy in the building was overwhelming the moment he entered, like the walls themselves carried a heavy weight of history.
I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Oh, what the holy... That was up here in the closet. That was right here. That ball. How did it... Holy shit. How the... Alright, where am I at? Because I'm not making it. I'm getting the hell out of here. This is not fun. I'm freaking out now because it seems like it's toying with me. Oh man, I'm only at 15 minutes. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna leave you there, ball. Don't mess with me. Alright, so there's nobody obviously in this room. There's nobody in this room. Guys, there's nothing in this house other than whatever
friggin' spirit. Nothing in this room.
While filming, a sudden dropping noise caught his attention. He spun around quickly and captured a basketball rolling across the floor, seemingly without any explanation. To make things even stranger, he then walked into the next room and showed viewers the closet where the ball had originally been stored. To ensure transparency, he also panned across the surrounding rooms to prove they were completely empty, ruling out the possibility of someone hiding. The video left many of his fans convinced that he had captured real paranormal activity. C himself admitted afterward that it was one of the most intense solo hunts he had ever done, and the basketball incident was only the beginning of the unsettling things he experienced there. So subscribe so you don't miss the future ones. Tim Morozov is a ghost hunter with an impressive following of 648,000 subscribers, known for diving headfirst into some of the most unsettling places with very little hesitation. His channel has built a reputation on raw, uncut footage that leaves little room for doubt, and his subscribers love him for it. In one of his more intense uploads, he wrote in the description, "This time, I'm examining the damn house with a poltergeist. This is a terrible night." That set the tone perfectly for what was to come.
Пока никаких показаний нету. Черт возьми. А где он стоял? Ничего нет. Никаких показаний.
As Tim walked carefully through the dark house with his motion detector in hand, a sudden crash echoed through the silence. A piece of pottery had been hurled to the floor. Clearly shaken but still curious, he moved toward the room where the sound came from. The shattered pottery lay scattered on the ground, and Tim decided to test his device, pressing the motion detector directly against it. Strangely, the device didn't beep at all, suggesting that no living presence had caused the violent act.